We're at the halfway point in the 2024 fantasy football regular season already. I know it seems crazy. We spend all summer trying to gear up and game plan for this, and you look up, we're halfway through. And what that means for you, what that means for me, what that means for the content that you will be seeing on this channel, the content that I will be delivering, it is 2025 rookie prospect season, full throttle from this point moving forward. It is time. There is enough data on the college football side to start making some bets, to start having some conviction shots on which one of these cats are going to be first, second, third round picks, therefore be impactful for us in fantasy football in 2025. A lot of people out there excited about the current crop of rookies, the quarterbacks, Jaden, Caleb Williams, Malik Neighbors. And while I do not believe we have caliber of talents that equal those guys, we got some damn good players here in 2025 that should perform well. Scouting combine through the rest of the college football season, inevitably get drafted in a range that we are going to have to pay attention. So you've come to the right place. If you want to learn about some of these names, some of these players, DD Fantasy Football is the name of the game for you. Rookie Draft is what I do. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you pulled up a chair. As always, if you stick around to the end of the video and you find this information actionable and or entertaining, hit that subscribe button, thumbs up this bad boy, and comment below. Let me know who I'm too high, too low on, which players you're excited about. I'm excited, baby. 2025 rookie draft season is upon us. Let's get it, baby. Once again, you can find me on X at RayGQue, and if you stick around to the end of this video, you find the information actionable and or entertaining, subscribe, hit that thumbs up button, comment below. But let's pull up the board. Let's get right to it. Talk about the top picks here in 2025, and I believe at this point it's pretty much locked up. The 101, in my opinion, where we sit right now today, no doubt about it in my mind, it's Boise State running back Ashton Jeanty. He should be the top pick, regardless of format, super flex, single quarterback, tri-flex. I don't give a damn what it is. Ashton Jeanty is incredible. And one of the things that I've really started to hone in on the running back position is just I don't want touch and fall running backs. I can't deal with touch and fall backs. You got to be able to create on your own. You have to be able to avoid first contact, but if you are contacted, you got to have the balance, the contact balance, to bounce off, make defenders miss in space. That is your job at the RB position. When we just look at Jeanty's overall raw numbers for the season, I mean, y'all, 126 carries, 1248, and 17 touchdowns, averaging 10 yards a catch. His game log on the season is ridiculous. This is video game type stuff right here. He's got not one, not two, three, four, five. Every game he's played in this year, minimum of 120 rushing yards. He's got 3 200-yard performances, and then he's got 2 performances over 185 rushing yards on the season, and only one game in which he did not score a touchdown. They only needed him for 11 carries. Ashton Jeanty is the 101, should be the 101. He is the best running back in this class and one of the best running backs that we've seen play in college football in a long time. When you look at his rushing grades according to PFF, I mean, missed tackles forced, that's my thing. We saw Bucky Irvin making shit happen against the New Orleans Saints on Sunday. Bucky Irvin was one of the best running backs in missed tackles forced in college football in 2023. And right now, Ashton Jeanty, number one with 57 missed tackles forced. That is unreal levels of production from this running back. He's got ideal size at 5'9", 215 pounds put together. He should be the RB1 in NFL drafts. He should be the 101 in all college fantasy football, NFL fantasy football type rookie drafts. 101, Ashton Jeanty. Now, if there were a player to challenge Jeanty at that 101 spot, I am still going to put Tetairoa McMillan inside of that top pick 101. I know a lot of people out there, they don't want to play the running back game. They've been scared off of the running back position, don't want to do it, can't fool around with running backs. So they still want to take the wide receiver. They still want to prioritize that wide out. But for me, it's Ashton Jeanty at the 101 spot. I need the immediate production now. Tetairoa McMillan, love him. Wide receiver 1 for me. Those should be the top 2 picks in Dynasty rookie drafts if we're talking today, where we stand right now, no injuries, nothing like that. Jeanty, Tet McMillan, top 2 picks, 101, 102, order them however you like. Now the fun really, really begins, because when we look at this positional group, there are a lot of good wide receivers. Most people put Luther Burden. You've got other wide receivers. But in my opinion, the way the NFL game is trending and what I'm looking for out of my fantasy assets, I want production right damn now. Omarion Hampton out of North Carolina. Currently, tier 1 running back with me with Ashton Jeanty. Jeanty is the one. After that, I don't really have a lot of players ranked. But Omarion Hampton, if you were forcing me to pick a player to rank right now, Omarion Hampton would probably be the RB2 in this class. And when we go back to PFF and just look at where he is compared to Ashton Jeanty, second in college football of qualified rushers of over 50 attempts with 45 missed tackles forced. He's big, he's fast, he's strong, 6 foot, 220 pounds, 155 carries, which leads college football, 901 yards and 7 touchdowns, averaging about 6 a pop. When you look at his game log, it's not Ashton Jeanty levels of ridiculousness, but 129, 77, 210, 139, 103, 106, 137, and that's with 20 receptions on the season as well. Hampton is a young guy, true junior. When you look at his stats, I mean, he's been good since North Carolina put him on the field. True freshman season, 401 yards, follow that up with 1504, and right now he sits at 901 with a long of 71. This is a big back that has that prototypical bell cow sort of build, but has got soft hands, and they actually deploy him in the receiving game. Omarion Hampton is a stud, so he should be in that 3 to 6 range if you're talking value from a rookie perspective right now. I think the other player who's going to be right there with Tet McMillan, with Omarion Hampton, if he decides to declare as a wide receiver, will be Colorado wideout Travis Hunter. I still believe he's one of the most talented wide receivers, one of the most gifted receivers in this class. Talked about it over the summer. If there were going to be a player to push for wide receiver 1 in this class over McMillan, over Luther Burden, over Tre Harris, I said this back in July and August, it would be Travis Hunter. And what we've seen from him, besides the game versus Kansas State on Saturday where he was injured, was despite playing both sides of the ball, he was still one of the best wide receivers in college football. He is the real damn deal. What's he going to play at the next level? I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. But for the sake of what we're doing now, I am going to project Travis Hunter as a wide receiver. And if we were doing this and I were ranking the receivers right now, he would be my wide receiver too. I think he's that talented, that special of an athlete, that special of a player, ball skills second to none. Travis Hunter right now would be a pick that I would be comfortable taking, him declaring as a wide receiver, picks 3 through 6. Let's go to another wideout, Luther Burden, who I still believe deserves to be in this category. One of the things for me that I've really started to dive into is how wide receivers are utilized, how teams are deploying wideouts. And a lot of Luther Burden's touches, he had a 75-yard play called back this past Saturday, also had a 61-yard rushing touchdown. A lot of manufactured, schemed-up touches, which I'm fine with. But you got to be able to just do some regular wide receiver shit. I don't want every play being a schemed-up screen, a manufactured orbit motion, a jet sweep. I want you to just be able to line up on the outside, run a out, run a dig, run a post, run a go route. Just line up and play non-manufactured touch stuff. They've done that a little bit this season with Missouri, but ultimately it's just get Luther Burden the ball by any means necessary. Still going to be a very talented, highly drafted receiver. Just not a top dog for me. Not number 1, not number 2. Probably when it's all said and done, not number 3 or 4 for me, but he still deserves to be in this range of picks 3 through 6. Let's keep it pushing and put one more player up on the board for this pocket. So we got 3, 4, 5. Let's go with the 6th player. Let's go with the 6th player, and I'm putting this up on purpose because I personally have him ranked higher than Luther Burden, and that would be Tre Harris, the big wide receiver out of Ole Miss, who currently leads college football in receiving yards. Tre Harris, 987 receiving yards, 90.1 offensive grade, second in college football, only behind Jaden Higgins out of Iowa State. There's Ty Felton. I'm not going to talk about Felton right now, but a little bit later we'll talk about Felton, the receiver out of Maryland, and Ricky White out of UNLV, which I told y'all about. Don't sleep on Ricky White. Tre Harris is a monster. He is a big-bodied wide receiver that gets down the field in a hurry. One of the things that I do like to look at from a collegiate standpoint doesn't necessarily, there's no collegiate Trinity score right now. Make sure you check out the Trinity stuff on the channel, the best usage tool out there for the wide receiver position in the game. But yards per route run is one of the big inputs in my score. Tre Harris, amongst qualified wide receivers from the 25 class that's eligible for this class, number one in yards per route run, 5.25 yards per route run, number one in college football. Tre Harris is a monster. If you haven't seen any of his stuff, any of his games, I highly, highly recommend you check out Tre Harris's film. Jackson Dart leads college football in passing yards. Tre Harris, a big part of the reason why Jackson Dart is able to do that. So we got Genty, Tet McMillan, Omarion Hampton, Travis Hunter, Tre Harris, and Luther Burden in that 3 through 6 tier. Let's talk about the next group of playmakers that should be inside of this range of the first round in rookie picks. Emeka Egbuka, awesome. I'm going to put Emeka up here. He should be in this tier. I think he is playing phenomenally this year. Somebody where I look at his game, he doesn't profile, or at least I watch his game and I'm like, he might not be like a number one, but damn, he could be a legitimate number two option that we are rolling out each and every week. His game sort of reminds me of some Terry McLaurin to his game. And if he lands on a spot where he's forced to sort of be the primary guy, maybe he makes that work. But I see him as a nice, solid, complementary option on an offense. And depending on what situation he lands in, that could yield some significant fantasy scoring potential for us. So Emeka Egbuka, still one of those top guys for me. A player who I've not talked about, Ollie Gordon, dropped down a bit for me. Ollie Gordon, I still believe that his size, what he did as his sophomore season last year at Oklahoma State is going to hold a little weight with scouts, with evaluators. Is he going to be a first-round pick? No. Probably more so in that range of a late day 2, mid day 2 pick from Ollie Gordon, depending on testing. Still a tremendous running back, but he's fallen down the board. The play this year has not been up to par. Oklahoma State, Alan Bowman, the whole nine, they have looked bad every single week. So he's fallen a bit. So no, he is not up next. I do want to talk about a pair of running backs from the Ohio State, Travion Henderson, as well as Quinshon Judkins, who I've got Hendo right now ahead of Quinshon Judkins. I just like the receiving element that he brings to the table. The juice is there. Both of these running backs are incredible. Both of these running backs balling out right now. But I think Trey Henderson's next level skill set, I give him a tick above Quinshon Judkins. Judkins can catch the ball, but I always talk about there's a difference between a running back who can catch passes and a running back who can be deployed as a pass-catching weapon. I have him rated just a tad bit higher than Quinshon Judkins. Who else I have higher? Than Quinshon, and who else I have higher than Ollie Gordon? Man, Caleb Johnson out of Iowa. My goodness. This dude is also just balling out, prototypical size. You look at him, 4th in the country, and is this missed tackles force? Yeah, missed tackles force. 4th in the country, Caleb Johnson, 43. So he's right behind Cam Scatterboo from Arizona State and Omarion Hampton from North Carolina. Still quite a ways behind Ashton Genty. But Caleb Johnson, Jonah Coleman, who we've got on the board, Kyle Monungai out of Rutgers, also on the board, and DJ Giddens on the board as well. Jaquindon Jackson from Arkansas. Caleb Johnson is the real freaking deal. He's got prototypical size, 6 foot 225. And y'all, this is what I'm talking about. All of these damn running backs in this 2025 class, all of them, Judkins, Johnson, Edwards, all of these dudes, they're all 215 pounds, 210 plus pounds, 5'9", 5'10", 5'11", 225, 230. These dudes profile like real go-get-it type cats that are going to come into the NFL, be a part of a backfield committee, and if given opportunity, if you were excited about the Audric Estimes of the world, like these dudes, the Estimes can't even hold a candle to RB10 in this class. That is how talented the running back position is. So when you're looking at these picks 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, it's probably going to be a lot of running backs. I like Tez Johnson. Tez Johnson, I believe, was a back-end first-round pick in my first mock a month ago. Seems like he needs to be pushed down to that second round at this point. So Tez Johnson is going to go in the second round. You got Nicholas Singleton, who might be in this range as well. I do have Nick Singleton ahead of Ollie Gordon as well. Big time fall for Ollie Gordon. You got Kyren Lacy, wide receiver out of LSU. I do not believe right now, based on his play, he would fall inside of the range as a top first-round pick option. But I'm going to surprise y'all. Maybe, maybe not. For me, right now, my RB5 in this class, the end of sort of that second tier after Ashton Genty, who is in a tier of his own, is USC running back Woody Marks. Woody Marks, transfer from Mississippi State, incredible receiving profile for Woody Marks. I mean, what he was doing at Mississippi State prior to transferring to USC, let's just pull it up real quick so I can show y'all. Woody Marks, his stats this season, 579 yards, 4 touchdowns. He's got 12 receptions on the season, 21 receptions on the season, Prior to this, 23 catches, 48 catches, 83 catches, and 60 career receptions in a season. So you're talking about a player who this season is being able to demonstrate how proficient he is between the tackles, but has already shown a high-level skill set at catching the ball out of the backfield. 5'10", 210 pounds. Yes, this right now is a top 5 running back in the class for me. Woody Marks would be in that 7 to 12 range if we're talking running backs. So let's go ahead and straighten this out a little bit. We got 1, we got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll put Burden down here at 7. Hendo and Judkins I do have above Woody Marks, but right after Quinshon Judkins is Woody Marks. We've got 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Nicholas Singleton. Kick Ollie Gordon the second down to the second round, which this is just single quarterback. We haven't even talked about any of the tight ends, any of the QBs, which the QB class itself still trying to shake itself out, but very good QB class. Got Ollie Gordon and Tez Johnson would be up next for me in the second round, but you got Isaiah Bond from Texas, dynamic, fast wide receiver. Jonah Coleman, big pounder, bruising running back out of Washington. Xavier Restrepo out of Miami, big riser for me as well. Restrepo's quick twitch ability he's going to be a slot player, bring some of that special teams ability, punt return, kick return aspect. He's going to be right there as a day 2 pick. Love Xavier Restrepo. He's going to be one of those cats that look great at the combine in those individual drills. I'm just going to put a little love out there for him. If you're playing some heavy tight end premium leagues, I know a lot of y'all 1.5, 1.75, 2 points per reception for the tight ends. Penn State's got another one. Tyler Warren out of Penn State tied the NCAA receptions record in a game for the tight end position at over 200 receiving yards. He's 6'6", 250 pounds. Can move, can block. He's probably going to be a first-round pick. This is what Penn State does. They are a freak factory of athletes, and they've got another one in Tyler Warren. The tight end class is nasty. Mason Taylor, Tyler Warren, Elijah Arroyo, Colston Loveland, RJ Maryland. The tight end class is absolutely loaded. Harold Fannin Jr. If you don't know about this kid out of Bowling Green, this is another one of those guys where my draft community compadres are telling me, don't look up and be shocked if we get to the NFL draft next year and Harold Fannin Jr. is a first-round pick. He's that dynamic of an athlete at the tight end position. Evan Stewart, big game this past week, but not inside my top 12 yet. I think if he declares, he'd be in the second round category. Ricky White, I'm going to just put this on y'all radar right now. Ricky White III, he's going to be one of the better receivers in this upcoming class. And Kyren Lacy got stuff popping for LSU this past Saturday. We'll see what he does if he declares. Might want to run it back with Garrett Nussmeier if he doesn't come out. And the way it's looking right now, Nussmeier's looking like one of the top quarterbacks in 2025. So just looking at this second round, let's fill this out a little bit more. When it's all said and done, the players that I believe will be there in this second round, I think DJ Giddens deserves to be in that second round conversation, as well as Ty Felton and Jaquindon Jackson out of Arkansas. Got Xavier Restrepo, Jonah Coleman, Isaiah Bond, Tez Johnson, Ollie Gordon II. Tyler Warren is the lone tight end. This class is good. Acquire those 2025 picks. Every last one of these running backs. We've got no 180-pounders, no 190-pound running backs in this class. Big boy bruiser-type running backs in an NFL where we still have Isaiah Pacheco, Alvin Kamara, Derrick Henry, Brian Robinson, and Devon Achane as top 15 running backs in Dynasty. Letting y'all know right now, that will change come 2025. It's a good class. I'm excited to watch these cats continue to ball out, to play out, and we'll do this every single week, kind of adjusting to new information, what these players are doing, what the collegiate teams are asking them to do, and start to pair up what some of these NFL teams, some of these veteran players aren't doing. It's going to open the door for some of these rookies to come in next season and create some chaos and create some competition. There you go. In and out, 20 minutes, 2025 rookie mock draft, sort of slotting players in ranges right now. No definite 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, but the ranges in which the information that we have today, where I believe these cats are going to slot in. So, stuck around to In His Bad Boy, found it information, actionable, and or entertaining. Subscribe to the channel, hit the thumbs up button, like the content, and comment below. Let me know what you think about these players, this class in general, and stay locked into everything that we're doing over here at DD Fantasy Football. I'll see y'all Wednesday morning. Wake up with me and Jay Rich, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm out of this thing. Peace.